Welcome back to the Doorkickers player channel. This is the Fire Station North breakdown. This is mission 64. If you want to watch just the replays, feel free to go check that playlist out on my page. This is the breakdown video. What we do here is we're going to watch the replay just to familiarize ourselves with what's going on. Then we're going to watch a quick montage of all of my attempts of this mission on 100x speed. And after that, we're going to watch the successful attempt on 0.75 speed, break it down, explain everything that's going on, talk about anything that I did right, anything that I did wrong. I make mistakes all the time. So we'll be talking about that. And enough said, let's watch the replay. Now, as I was watching it, I realized I don't have the audio for this. The last time I started recording the mission and my playing the mission, I forgot to turn up the audio. So there isn't going to be any audio for the replay or for the breakdown. There's some audio for the first couple of times that I recorded, but then the last one, there is no audio. So I'm sorry about that. I know that some people requested the audio. I forget sometimes. I'm sorry. Anyways, let's watch the replay. All right, so that is mission 64, Fire Station North. It's a bit of a difficult one. It's a bit of a long one. There's a lot going on. We'll talk about all of that in the breakdown. Let's go ahead and watch the quick montage of all of my attempts. All right. So this took me a long time. I said this in previous videos. We've got like one hard mission, a bunch of easy missions, and then one really hard one. And it's exactly that. Mission 54 was super hard, and we're here at mission 64, and it's just as hard. Even harder, actually, because we've got the whole Bravo side big fire station situation going on, which make things so damn difficult. I've had hostages die there so many times. It's honestly frustrating. It was so frustrating. This took me, let's see, the first time I played it for 54 minutes, 55 minutes, and was unsuccessful. Second time was 42 minutes, third time was 33 minutes, and the last time was 45 minutes. So we're talking about 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that, that it took me to complete this. Yeah, that was not 2 hours, sorry, 3 hours. 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's a long time. So, like I said, there are going to be some really hard missions, and then some really easy missions, and then some really hard ones. This mission, I figured out how to complete it, but then I had to run through it from the beginning. So, it got pretty difficult. But let's talk about it. So, what we've got is we've got 4 operators. We've got Team 1 entering from the Alpha Delta side. We've got Team 2 entering from the Charlie Delta side. And 4 operators each. I believe they're all wearing the same kit. I don't know exactly what kit that is, but in these situations, you kind of have to stay fluid with what equipment you choose because that's the only way you're going to succeed. So you kind of just have to change it based on the mission, figure out what's useful to you in this specific situation, and go with that. So we've got these operators entering now. Team 1 is going to enter from the Alpha Delta side, and we've got 2 operators clearing the Delta room, the big room there. And that big room was very frustrating because I had an operator die there a bunch of times. So that room can get pretty frustrating. But we throw flashbang in there first and then enter the room and clear the room. Flashbangs are super useful. Always. That's just what it is. Now, if this was a real life situation, I would probably clear every single room. But as you can see here, I'm actually going to skip this bathroom on that's in the Alpha Delta area and the rooms that are on the Alpha side. And that's because I know that there are no tangos in there, and I'm just going to ignore them completely because I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 operators from Team 1 clear that Delta room, and then those operators are going to turn back around, I believe. Yeah, those operators are going to turn back around and join the other 2 operators. So the other 2 operators from Team 1 are going to go and try to grab that first hostage in the center room. And in the meantime, Team 2 is going to start making their way towards the Alpha side, towards the center of the building. And they're going to rescue the 2 hostages that are on the other side of the center of the building. And then they're all 8 operators, both teams are going to make their way towards the big room where most of the hostages are. Now, looking at this right now, I don't believe that this is the final map, I think that I did change it up a little bit. I'm sorry, the final route. I think that I did change it up a little bit. And remember, this is on 0.75 speeds. This is not even real time. And this took a long time to get done right. Now, what we are doing here is we are picking the locks. We're not blasting the doors. We're not breaking down the doors. And that's because we want to alert the tangos as little as possible. We don't want to let them know that we're here. So we're picking the lock, breaking through that door, and moving super, super slow, making sure all of our operators are covered. And you can kind of see here with operators 2, 1, and 2, 2 that one of them is standing slightly in the doorway and was able to take down that first tango. And then they clear the room. Now operators 2, 3, and 2, 4. I'm sorry, operators 1, 3, and 1, 4. That's team 1. Are kind of moving across, and this is a really super sketchy situation with operators 1, 3, and 1, 4 because there were tangos on both sides of that hallway who had windows and could see the operators, and that was just a super sketchy situation. And if there wasn't superior firepower, the one of those operators would have died. But as you can see, there were tangos on both sides, and actually operator 1-3 ended up moving in front of that window where that tango was. But because they were working pretty silently, he wasn't injured. As you can see, there's no blood spatter. Now, team 2 is starting to make their move and clear the center of the building and rescue those hostages. And as you can see here, I'm using operator 1-4 for cover while operator 1-3 goes and grabs the hostage. And the reason you want to do that is so that the tangos can't turn around and kill a hostage. So when you take the hostages with you, it just makes it easier to control where the tangos are, essentially. And I don't have any proof for this, I'm just assuming that. Now, as you can see here, super sketchy situation because we've got 3 tangos, 2 tangos in the doorway facing operator 1-4, and then 1 tango in red that's hiding, that just got out of sight. And you can see I'm trying to arrange the operators 1-1 and 1-2 to move so that they'll be in a line of sight of the tangos and they'll be able to take them out. As you can see, operator 1-4 and 1-1 were able to take out those tangos. So that's okay. They're fine. And I'm just moving super slow, trying to make sure that I've got everything covered. And I am kind of trying to figure out why operator 1-4 isn't able to see that tango that was in red, that there's like a red shadow left. And as you can see, operators from team 2 have already started engaging tangos. Operator 2-1 is doing a phenomenal job at taking out those tangos, and operator 2-2 is joining him, and so is operator 2-3. Now, I had operator 2-3 clear that room just in case there were any tangos there, because if there were tangos there, they could end up being an extreme threat. And so now that operator 2-4 has grabbed those hostages, he's going to join them. And now both teams are just going to wait in their spot because the tangos know exactly where they are, and the tangos are going to start coming towards them. So I'm not super worried about where the operators are. I'm kind of happy with the fact that they're all lined up side by side so that all 4 operators from both teams can engage tangos at the same time. And that's exactly what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have them walk together. Now, I do believe that there's a room not cleared. And again, phenomenal work by the operators, taking out the tangos instantly because of the way that they're positioned. And this could have been a very bad situation, but everything was taken care of. Now, I do have one issue with one mistake that I'm making here is that I'm not clearing that room that's on the Alpha Delta side of the screen right now. And that could have been a very big mistake if there was a tango in there. But from my experience with this mission, if there was a tango in there, he would have popped out. And this is the thing with this game is that in different missions, the tangos do different things, so they act differently. But in this mission, some of the tangos will come towards you, especially if they're not next to any hostages. The tangos that are near hostages will stay where they are, but the tangos that are not near any hostages will actually move and start to engage the operators. So I'm kind of like banking on the fact that if there was a tango in that room, that they would have come out of the room and started engaging the operators. Now, as you can see here, I have a flow pattern set up, and I've stressed this a lot, but when you have two or more operators, flowing is the absolute best option. That's just the way it works. When you have one operator, hooking is actually a good option. It's a great option. And as you can see here, I'm getting so frustrated at my fingers because the iPad is a little glitchy, so I'm kind of like clicking the wrong stuff and messing up routes that I had already planned. So I'm pretty frustrated right now at this. So now I'm just planning the routes for operators from Team 1. Do you believe that that's operator 1-3, and in the red is 1. I'm sorry. In the red, I think I have no idea. I'm honestly not even gonna try. When there's 8 operators, I just give up because it's just too many operators to figure out who's who. So I've got operators from Team 2. Team 2 is going to start moving. And having them go on a call sign makes it easier for me because then I can draw where I want them to go, and I don't have to I don't have to worry about them being, you know, being in a line or being at the same pace. I can kind of just trust that I can effectively make them be I can make them walk in a formation by using the call sign. So that's pretty neat. And as you can see, I'm just drawing the route for them to move. Now I'm trying to get the operator in orange to look or to face that room that's on the alpha side of the screen right now. And I just gave up. So I'm just going to keep drawing the routes and just up until there, because when you kind of draw them, a whole long route at once, which I have done, it kind of gets difficult to have sort of different controls for each operator. So sometimes just easier to draw out the entire route. Now, I've got both teams moving towards the main we'll call it the garage room. And this part is super, super sketchy because there could be tangos at any point from my experience. And they can just pop out at any second. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to clear it quickly with team 2. So now that's all clear. And again, I'm not checking the bathrooms and I'm not checking any of those rooms because I'm just going to trust that there's no tangos and that if there were tangos, they would have popped out by now. Now, when it comes to this situation specifically, I don't have the operators from team 1 flowing, because I need them all to go towards the alpha side of that room. And I'm having all the operators from team 1 throw flashbangs into that circle or around the hostages, because I know that there are going to be so many tangos there, and just throwing as many flashbangs as I can is only beneficial. There's no downside to just throwing a ton of flashbangs. And I'm trying to cover as much as I can because there are tangos that are right up on those hostages. And if I don't throw a flashbang right on the hostages, those hostages are going to die, whether in the crossfire or whether it's in a tango that's trying to kill the hostage. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen if I don't throw the flashbangs right on the hostages. So that's what I'm doing. And as you can see, everyone from team 1 is just going to go towards the alpha side of that room of the garage and prep flashbangs. Now this part is a little sketchy because I don't want the tangos to see the operator before he throws the flashbang. And so I got to make sure he's in the right position. And as you can see, there's a little bit like lighter shade whenever an operator gets, whenever you're drawing the route for an operator and he gets into a certain like field of view. And so I'm kind of just making sure that before they throw the flashbangs, no one can see the operators, because the element of surprise is going to be what saves the hostages. And so now I'm just drawing a route for the operator from team 1 to clear behind that truck, because 9 times out of 10 there will be a tango there. And additionally, there's going to be another tango 9 times out of 10 behind that fire truck, behind those big fire trucks. So I've got operators going towards behind that big fire truck to take out the tangos that are right around the hostages, and then keep going and take out that last tango that's behind the big fire trucks. So now I've got team 2, and with team 2, I am going to flow. So 2 operators from team 2 are going to flow towards the alpha side and get to the center of the room. And from the center of the room, they're going to throw flashbangs and start clearing the center. Now, this part is tedious because there's no movement really going on, but it's definitely worth doing it right. You don't want to do it wrong. Now, where the operator from team 2, where that operator is throwing a flashbang, there is always a tango there. Always a tango, which makes it so difficult, because if you don't throw a flashbang in there, that tango is going to kill a hostage in the crossfire, and you got to restart the mission. So as you can see, I'm literally throwing flashbangs wherever there possibly might be a tango, especially on the Bravo side of the room. As you can see, my route is literally just get towards the hostages, get to that area, and just take them out. That's literally the route. There's nothing else going on. As you can see, I'm just throwing more flashbangs in that general vicinity and having the operator just move towards that general vicinity because there's nothing else to plan. And then the last operator from team 2 is going to do the same as well. So on the Bravo sign, they're all 8 operators are going to throw flashbangs. So you can see I'm just planning the route. Now I do have one operator from team 1 and one operator from team 2 that are going to kind of hook and work that angle, but essentially I've got the operators fanning out and just trying to take out as many hostages as they can, I mean, as many tangos as they can before um before the flashbangs wear off. Now, this is a super sketchy part because there's a tango there that we can't see. It's not in the field of view, but can see the operators. And he's shooting at the operators right now. He's shooting at the team 2 operators. Additionally, there's a tango that's on the delta side of the screen right now, and the operators are just not shooting at it. Ooh, I just messed up that route. So now I've got to redo the route, redo the flashbang. And this is super sketchy because this tango that's on the delta side of the screen could end up taking out a hostage. So I'm kind of just taking it super, super slow, hoping that the tango doesn't hurt any of the hostages and the operator is able to take out that tango. And as you can see, we managed to take out that tango that was on the Charlie side. And again, we're just moving super, super slow, trying to get into position to rescue those hostages that are in the circle. Now, the good thing about this game is that when hostages don't see you, even if they saw you, they won't do anything about it. And now I'm kind of really super sketched out because there's an operator from team 1 that was looking at a tango, and can see a tango, but that tango is actually being blocked by the hostages. So thankfully, the operator didn't shoot, which allows everybody to throw their flashbangs in and start moving in to take out hostages, to take out tangos. And as you can see, they're doing a phenomenal job of it. Everyone's moving super, super smoothly and just taking out hot tangos left and right. And the fact that those tangos were disoriented makes it so much better because then there's no risk of crossfire and hostages dying in the crossfire, which happened 1.5 million times. And as you can see now, I've got that one operator from Team 1 that's going to go behind the fire truck and take out that last hostage that's there. And now I'm kind of worried that there might be a tango on the Charlie side of the garage, but I don't see anything, so I'm just going to let it go. And I'm just moving super, super slow, hoping that no hostages get caught in the crossfire. And then I finally managed to take out that last tango, and I am so flippin' relieved. I am. I had been doing this mission for a while. It took me a total of like more than 3 hours, which is super, super hard. Most missions these days take me 20 minutes to get done, and this one was just super, super hard to do. So, pretty happy about it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, make sure you subscribe. We have 2 playlists on my channel. We have just the replays, and then we have the breakdown videos. Feel free to go check those out. And if there's anything that you guys want to see or hear about in these videos, feel free to let me know in the comments. And I'll see you all in the next video.